Welcome to day 27. Once again, we're back in review of the entire stack. And today we're going to actually get into it and get the strategy behind and actually um, kind of diagnose or probably a bad word, but understand the strategy behind the stack. Part of it is like, why, how often do we have to do this? Now, we spent a lot of time in stack, and how often do we do it? Daily. It's like it's a tool of power, and how often do we want power? We want power every single day. So, the topics of a stack. Typically, these can come in categories, right? We have triggers. The things that actually trigger a stack is external triggers. Um, these seem to be most of the ones that I stack. It's something that has happened, something that has provoked a response, something that has happened that just triggers me. It's in violation of something, and it takes me off course. Like it's enough of a shock that it knocks me off of my course into some darkness where I go off into some feeling and emotion um, caused by an outside source. Um, Alternatively, there is also a internal trigger, right? That triggers things and thoughts and feelings I have about myself. The thoughts that come from within me. It's feelings of perhaps an internal conflict, right? Maybe shame, maybe it's guilt, maybe there's something that triggers the trigger into my internal, right? Just frustration with myself or thoughts and beliefs I have about myself. But those aren't necessarily triggered by outside sources, not something or someone that happened. It's just something that where I go inside and I have some internal conflict about something, maybe something I'm learning and I've adopted as a principle is in violation to my thoughts and beliefs, values that I've previously had, and they're not entirely worked out. So something inside of me is triggered, um, and I have to deal with that. Hot topics. This is one for me. It's easy to get for a lot of us these days. It's easy to get tripped on not something that is external that happens to us necessarily, or not something that's created from within us and in the conflict within us, but it's a hot topic, right? Politics these days is a topic, something that you're actually very passionate about and actually have strong beliefs about. And when an opposing viewpoint comes to you, you find yourself triggered either in defense or to react in some way to the topic at hand. Um, Next is maybe a warm topic, right? It's not a hot topic. It's not something that triggers you instantly, but it's not. Uh, it's something that happens, and It's more of a passive thing, and this is something that it's not a instant trigger that hijacks you off into emotion, but it's something kind of like boiling the frog, if you will, right? It's something that slowly takes you off course, and it takes probably a little more awareness to catch this one um, early on. Uh, the next one is reactionary triggers, right? A lot of times, it's related to the hot topics probably, and probably the external, right? But it's where you react, the triggers that you react to. It's in a reactionary response to something, uh, some sort of external trigger. Creation triggers. Now, this is probably one that you actually create once you realize the value of the experience and the expansion in the dark. Sometimes you can create a trigger, right? And this is probably more of an exploratory thing where I can choose what I want to learn today, right? I want to learn something on this topic, so I can create a belief, I can create a value, I can take something small, probably, and trigger myself into a process that I can stack and actually get different viewpoints um, just for the simple purpose of learning. So, with that said, assignment today is to teach this. If you can't teach it, you don't know it. Don't know what you can't live it. Follow through on the remaining items at the bottom of the page, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.